How much money should exist? This question matters because it impacts our capacity to address societal problem sets. And as the complexity and scale of our societal problem sets increase, we need to be able to answer this question with a high level of confidence and broad consensus. To begin to answer this question, we need to think about our endgame, where we arrive at a thriving, sustainable, and resilient society that works for everyone. From there, we can work backwards to figure out how to pay for the creation and maintenance of that vision. In recent years, we've gotten lost in conversations related to our national debt, government efficiency, and waste, fraud, and abuse. Those conversations are trivial when compared to maintaining a habitable planet, preparing for public health emergencies, and responding to natural disasters. To give you a sense of scale, the money supply in the United States is around $22 trillion, which may seem sufficient to some, but consider that the estimated cost of climate adaptation alone is over $38 trillion. And that doesn't include the estimated $9 trillion to rehabilitate America's crumbling infrastructure. Our record-setting investments associated with the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law and Inflation Reduction Act were tiny in comparison to the scale of the cost to address climate change and fix our nation's infrastructure. And those record-setting climate and infrastructure investments, even though they were tiny in comparison to the scale of the climate and infrastructure problems, those investments have been rolled back by the current administration and the current Congress. We are losing our ability to pace investments over long periods of time, which means once we have the political will to address climate change, in 2029, we will be forced to make even more massive investments. And anytime there are massive investments or stimulus packages or increases in the money supply, people immediately start to wonder how much inflation to expect. There are, of course, ways to minimize inflation while increasing the money supply. The simplest way to minimize inflationary pressure is to increase the money supply slowly at a predictable rate for many years, rather than very quickly in a short time period. The famous conservative economist Milton Friedman suggested that we should increase the money supply by K% every year. Now, if listening to Milton Friedman this one time means we achieve broad consensus in America to invest trillions of dollars in addressing climate change, then I am willing to listen to Milton Friedman this one time. Just this once. Increasing the money supply at a rate of 3% a year to pay for climate mitigation and adaptation would result in an additional $18 trillion in climate investments in the United States by 2050. That is 15 bipartisan infrastructure laws or 24 Inflation Reduction Acts over 20 years. And according to Milton Friedman's quantity theory of money, the resulting inflation would be as much as a proportional 3% a year. I don't know about you, but I am willing to endure 3% inflation every year to save the planet. I believe we are staring down some of the most complex societal problem sets in the history of humanity, and we are doing so with unnecessary self-imposed constraints. We can solve these problems, but we have to invest in solving them at the appropriate scale. The scale of our investments must match the scale of the problems we are trying to solve. And I believe we need to start by answering this question. How much money should exist?